What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a lot of great plays heading into this week. First things first, we're definitely going to be talking about Tesla stock. It had an amazing day on Friday, up around 3%, which is great to see. It looks like it finally is starting to get some solid momentum. We're also going to be talking about a lot of these recovery plays that are looking very good, and we also just have a lot of other plays and important news. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video. We have a lot of great stuff to cover. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But let's get right into it.
Yeah, definitely. And Tesla has some pretty big news come out this weekend, actually, Mike. And despite the head of National Transportation and Safety Board expressing serious concerns about safety last week, Tesla now enabled access to the beta of its full self-driving program, or FSD program, to more Tesla drivers via a request button on Tesla's dashboard screens. However, before a driver get access with the software, Tesla will determine their safety score using 5 criteria that estimate the likelihood that your driving could result in a future collision, according to a page on Tesla's website. So that's really interesting information. And honestly, like any new things that they put out, like betas for self-driving or anything, just keep in mind that that's giving them more data to help them in the future. So the more people that do this full self-driving program, they'll end up getting more data, and they'll be able to kind of, they'll be able to really hone in on this program, and they'll be able to make it a lot safer than it is right now if people use it. So I think it's a great idea, Mike. And you know what? We see Tesla stock sometimes pop off of news like this, and it had a great day Friday. I don't know if someone knew this was going on or not, but man, Tesla had a great day Friday, and on the daily chart, we're sitting right on this trend line. This might be the type of news we need to finally break out through here and maybe head towards $800.
You know it. I mean, they've just been kind of like not really doing anything over the past year, but it looks like they're finally starting to get some good momentum going, which is great to see. And, I love to see this type of news. I know Tesla has been working on their full self-driving software for quite some time, so I'm very excited to see how it debuts. And I think it's really smart how they're kind of rolling it out to select drivers, and they're kind of like evaluating the safety scores and stuff like that. So either way, I'm very excited for this news, and Tesla will definitely be on my radar heading into this week. And then Tom, we had to talk about these cruise lines and airlines as well. They are having great weeks. Like we look at RCL, CCL, you name it. The stocks are probably doing very well. Even the airlines are starting to pop off, and I also really like these setups.
Yeah, and there isn't really too big of a catalyst for these stocks to be rising right now either. Like, you would think that as we head into the winter months, maybe travel will slow down in the airline industry, or maybe cruise lines won't have as much sailings now that it's getting cold. But as we can see, the stock or the charts are actually starting to point to the upside. You can see on the daily, they're actually really breaking out of their ranges. NCLH was in a big range between $23 and $26. We finally broke that last week and had 2 great moves to the upside. Same thing with Carnival, same thing with RCL as well. And man, just looking at RCL, they're honestly one of my favorite ones, Mike. They broke that $90 resistance on Friday, and there's a lot of momentum, and we're even seeing momentum with Boeing here. We have the airlines popping up, Boeing's kind of following along, and the recovery plays are doing very, very well. And like I said, it's kind of unexpected as we head into these winter months, but sometimes the market's just like that.
Yeah, I know CCL reported earnings the other day, and it kind of like popped up a lot, which is good to see. And what I like about these ones is that they aren't at like crazy high levels. Like, they do have a lot of room to recover, but at the same time, like, they're also on a good uptrend. So I really like these ones. In RCL and CCL will definitely be on my watch list. And then Tom, what's going on with this Pelosi news?
Yeah, Pelosi actually came out and she says that they're expecting the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill to pass this week, but she did say that voting may be pushed back from its original Monday timeline, however, and they also are kind of tackling the September 30th funding deadline right now that could also shut down the government if both parties cannot come to terms on a new funding bill. So we kind of have 2 big things going through Congress this week. Number 1 being the funding bill, number 2 being the $1 trillion infrastructure bill. So we'll have to see what ends up going on. But there's going to be a lot of talks about this coming up this week. And, if the government does shut down, that could make the market start to fall or start to crash. But, it would be a more likely scenario that they come to terms eventually and that they'll end up getting this passed sometime this week. Like she said, she does expect it to pass at some time this week, even if it's more towards the end.
Good stuff. So let's get right into today's member of the day, which is I'm Fierce 13. So huge shout out, I'm Fierce. Thank you so much for all of the YouTube comments, but at the same time, thanks for being an awesome member of the Stocked Up Discord. He had an awesome comment on the last video. He said, awesome episode. Thank you for the info. If you do not watch these two or in the channel, you're missing out. A great group of people to grow and learn from and with. So thank you so much, I'm Fierce. We really appreciate you, and huge shout out to you. And then Tom, let's get right into these momentum plays. With the first one, we have Redfin to the upside.
Yep, and with Redfin, they had a great move up at the end of the day on Friday. Make them actually break out above $55 even. I'm guessing that they'll have a pretty big move in pre-market.
All right, and then with the next one, we have Tesla.
TSLA. Now watch for these guys in pre-market. I think we could see a big move out of them. Make them break out above 775, but if they break that in pre-market, then make them break 780.
Sounds good. And then with the last one, we have BLNK, but to the downside.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one's down, and make them fall below 28.90, right around that $29 area.
Sounds great. So we are watching Redfin and Tesla for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. And we are watching BLNK for a potential day trade to the downside tomorrow, only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. But let's get right into the comments from the previous episode. With the first comment, we have Taylor saying, hey guys, appreciate the videos. Could you share your thoughts on HEAR and or HIBB? So here, HEAR, the setup's not bad. It's just not something I would invest in. That doesn't mean it's bad at all. Just looking at the max weekly or max daily chart, we can see that they had a great run up back in 2013, and they clearly been through some problems. And, it's definitely not a bad setup. It's just not really for me.
Yeah, and Mike, do you know about this company at all, Turtle Beach?
Yeah, they do like the headsets and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, they do the headsets and stuff, so I would think it might be pretty good, but like you said, I mean, it's such a volatile stock. I remember, a long time ago, whenever I first started trading, Mike, before this split that they had a long time ago, like this stock was even crazier. So yeah, I mean, I personally, it's just not the stock for me, but it's in an interesting sector. They sell like gaming headsets and stuff, so you would think the sector could do well, kind of like Corsair's sector, but it's just the company overall, you can tell on the chart, is just not had the best movement. So
for sure. I mean, I don't think it's like bad at all. It's just it's unique. We'll say it's unique.
Yeah, no, I would honestly almost just go look at CRSR if you like them. I think Corsair might be a little bit better. They make headsets, they make mice, they make keyboards, they make a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Corsair, so definitely check that one out. And then Taylor also wanted us to cover HIBB. So this one's it has a better looking chart than HEAR. I think the 70 support will be pretty decent. Again, it's not really like a setup for me. I'm more of a fan of stocks like DraftKings, Corsair, Palantir, Boeing, Redfin, stuff like that. But this one, it also doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It almost reminds me of like a setup like DKS, like Dick's Sporting Goods, and this is another sporting goods company. So yeah, I could see that 70 support holding up for the longer term, Mike. And even if it falls below 70, I would love to grab shares of this company a little lower, like maybe around $50 or even $60. I'd really eye that up, or maybe even sell some puts on this. I think it'll be good for the long term.
Love to see it. And then we have Justin saying, great video looking at UPST in Moderna for tomorrow. So let's take a look. UPST, the stock that just keeps on going up. It looks like it actually had a red day on Friday, but, this one had a couple red days sprinkled in over the past couple months, and it just seems like it never stops.
Yeah, it looks like on the daily, this might finally be the top we're looking for, Mike, but how many times have we said that already on the way up? I mean,
Yeah.
man, I've probably said it like 10 times personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy stock. It has so much momentum, and I know I've mentioned, or I compared this a lot to Target, Redfin, and then Home Depot a lot. They went on like multi-month uptrends, and it kind of looks like UPST. And what I've learned from setups like these is, don't even try and call the top because, they just keep on going, So either way, it'll definitely be on my watch list. And whether you're looking at it to the upside or the downside, it's been moving a lot, which is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, it is. And I think if we see another solid move to the downside, like if we could see UPST maybe fall below this 310 support or maybe below 320 on Monday, we might see that second kind of sell off come in. But, I would not be surprised to see it break up above 350. I mean, we just kept having those crazy moves last week, even, and I could see it still happening, honestly. Like, even though we have one red day sprinkled in, I'm sure that there could be more momentum.
Yep, and then with Moderna, this one's down around 5.5%, or at least it was on Friday. This one, it's a great company, great stock. They've been exploding over the past couple years, obviously a lot because of the vaccine. But either way, they are technically making lower highs on this daily chart, which is normally bearish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we retested like 400 or so.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And the main thing is that Moderna's already up a lot. They have lower highs going on. They're failing to break resistance around 460. So they have a few things working for them. And I could see them kind of falling back down too. And the main reason is just because how much they're up this year.
Yep. All right. So, Tom, what are some of your top stocks for this week? What are you watching? What news? What options? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I'm actually going to have my eyes on the biggest US memory chip maker, Micron, which is a pretty big stock. They're a pretty big tech stock. Like I said, they're the biggest US memory chip maker, which is pretty big. They're actually going to have earnings coming out on Tuesday. And I'm not saying to play earnings by any means, but I will say they're at a decent time to grab shares. Somewhere around $70 to $75, I think, is a decent long-term level to pick these guys up at. And if these earnings go well, we could easily see a big move up, possibly back up towards that $80 resistance. We recently had a pretty big gap to the downside right there. So I could possibly see us filling some of that gap to the upside. And, it's going to take those earnings doing well. But, like I said, it's at a good spot for shares for the long term. And that's my main thing with it. And I like the stock. I think it could also have momentum. And I'm also going to be watching Boeing a lot. They had a great week last week. And I honestly thought they might fall down because they kept hovering right around that 210 support, but it held up. They came back up through the 220 resistance actually, and I think it's setting up pretty good.
For sure. And if you're an options trader, definitely check out that first link in the comments down below. The Discord is completely free and you can network with thousands of other traders. Like I said, it's completely free and we even offer daily free day trades and you can chat with Tom and myself all day long. So definitely check it out. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below so we can take a look at them in the next video. But other than that, thanks for watching.